we even go back to whether it was even a common expense at that particular time. And this is something, whether it was common or not, I'm not even going to venture a guess right at this time. Because the association, once they started, you know, when it was split off from the league, it was never treated as an expense, common or otherwise. You can look at every budget ever done by every board since they took control. It has never been an expense. I have asked accountants. The other board members have asked accountants, is this an expense, common or otherwise? No. It was always showed as a pass-through on the income line. This is not this board's interpretation. This is from the very get-go that it never was an expense. That's what all this, you know, it basically was. And I both agree. I mean, it never was a common expense. It never was an uncommon expense. It was a pass-through. The association agreed to collect money for it. Okay? It was done on the income line of the budgets. So this is one of the things that has to be, and now, you know, no, I'm not going to go any further on that. I think I've answered your question.
Can I make a rebuttal to that statement?
I'll be nice.
This is a copy of the original condo documents. In those condo documents, before there was any change, I'm going to read you the line. And I'm going to read you the line that changed. Okay? We don't have to be lawyers, but I'm just going to give you some facts. So, prior to any modification, amendment, whatever, the clause 2.7 said as follows. Common expenses shall include all those items specifically authorized under section 718 1.115, which is a common expense, Florida statutes. In addition, the association shall have authority, but shall not be required to collect for the developer fees related to the mandatory membership in the recreational club facilities, including users' fees and, in bracket, if applicable, late fees provided in the Salt Springs Recreation Club membership agreement and rules and regulations, which for all purposes shall be considered common expenses. That was the document that was there before.
Okay.
The revision, whatever revision, that your lawyers put in place. Common expenses, now 217 was modified. Common expenses shall include all those items specifically authorized under section 752. In addition, the association shall have the authority, but not required, to collect fees required in the recreational club member facility, including user fees, late fees, which for all purposes shall be considered common expenses. So clause 2.7 was modified, but it still included the clause that said there's still common expenses. And that's what the lawyers are fighting with. And so my position is, there's an interpretation on one side, we have an interpretation. I have documents before, I have documents afterwards. In both cases, they were declared as common expenses. So, I'm not going to play lawyer. I'm just telling you the way I read English language. They have a different interpretation.
Like, come on.
Okay.
My question kind of directs more towards the board here and I believe at the time that we voted for the change in the documents, I don't think it was clearly stated to us what this result was doing, and I believe a lot of people did not understand what the end result was going to be. We just solved this problem and put it up to a vote again.
Okay, here again, right now, I'm not going to say there's a majority here, or a minority here, or anything else as such. But I take it we are discussing later on possible questions. But here again, that's the amazing thing that we've been doing this battle for 2 years now, and all of a sudden, when we took that survey, actually, now we say, well, that didn't, that wasn't the full membership. Well, trust me, it went out to everybody in this park.
Just put it on the ballot.
But here it is. As I said, how would you like to address it? That we rescind the document changes?
We did it just like the state of Florida did it a couple, years back. If you remember when Jed Bush was governor, when we all voted, we wanted high-speed rail, and we got the real numbers on it, and everybody turned around and said, no, we don't want that.
All righty.
I think we now have a better idea of what this board taking this out has done. So let's put it back to the.
I agree with you 100%, Patrick. People voted for something, and it's something I said at the very beginning this year. When you put things on a ballot, it has to be put in legalese. However, you should also put a very down and dirty, simple explanation. If you vote yes on this will happen. If you vote no, this will happen. In that case, that was not done. I heard a million misinterpretations of what that document change meant, and now we're stuck with it. And I really would like to see everybody come back on that now and say, all right, now we've seen what happened. Now you understand what you voted for. Now, do you want to remain this? Do you want this to remain in place, or don't you?
And then we'll definitely know who.
Yeah, then we'll know what everybody in here is actually thinking. Because I was disappointed with that survey results because we didn't get much back. And hopefully, if we throw on a question like that on the ballot, we'll get enough of a response to make it, a worthwhile question.
Okay, Roseanne, you've been waving your arm for.
It seems to me like the majority of the people in here are for the recreation club, so with what I'm about to say, I'm not sure if you'll agree with me, but I'm a little bit upset with Mr. Mayor using the word common property. From the Polikoff website, it says right here, real property owned by tenants in common who each have an undivided interest in the entire property managed by homeowners association in condominium project or subdivision development, which all owners may use, and each owns a percentage of the interest. We don't own this. This is a health club. This is a separate business. And I agree, it would be wonderful for all of us to all belong again. But what about this letter from Mrs. Mayor that said if we don't buy the lodge, our prices are going to go up significantly? Are you guys forgetting that? Are you forgetting that she said that our prices are going to go up? You want to put that into the hands of people who are going to say, hey, if you don't buy this lodge, you're going to pay through the nose? I don't get it.
Lady in pink.
I'm thinking that not you, as far as rumor control goes, the rumor was that you were requesting lien rights. Now, what you said was that if we agree, if you agree with what he's requesting, then he's going to pay all expenses to go after the non-payers. But yet, if they refuse and go through, I'm assuming, lien rights, the association would end up with the lien rights. Is that right? Is that correct? With the property. So my question to the board is then, where are we going to lose? Because my fear was...
Okay, if first of all, it's our attorney's opinion that the board cannot give lien rights to a private business. But let's go past that. Let's go past that. Okay, so this happens. We just went through the whole process of getting back a lot. By the time the lawsuits and everything else like that. it's not a pretty picture how much every one of you paid for getting back that lot. And then because, you know, and the people who reverse decided to try selling it, you know, we had this price and then lots are going for $5,000 and $10,000 in here. You take what's market value.
But
The association, so in saying that lien rights and then, you know, foreclosures is the way to go, in today's thing, a foreclosure takes 2.5 years. I know you've all been reading about it in the papers. It's just, it's not a cost-effective way of doing it.